What's up, everybody? Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my adventures in Mythic Plus. Today we actually don't have a pug run necessarily. This is just, we were just kind of chilling, just doing some keys right on reset. So I know the mage, the priest, and the druid in this group. So this will be a little bit of a better than average run, but you know, figured we would still just get an upload in, show you how some things go, and still do our usual commentary if this is the first time you are finding the channel, or if you still just don't know how Motherlode works quite as well. So we're going to get this nasty giant pull right off the rip. We're going to make sure to kick all these ice spritzers with our in-cap roar, and make sure that we get the assassin poison blades as well. Could probably do, with this group, we could probably do the little peacekeeper over to the right hand side there with this pull as well, but I just like to skip that anyway. We'll end up over pulling a little bit later, so no big deal. But that pull just gets absolutely melted. We have some pretty good DPS in this group, so no need to worry about that. We'll get this nice little wall skip, and a couple people have some problems with it as well, so we end up needing to get on a mount and help someone over the edge. But we'll just skip ahead until we get them over here. So we'll go right around this little side over to the right hand side and in front of me, and then we'll have to wait for this peacekeeper to pat back, and then we'll carry on with the dungeon. We also just kind of realized at this point too that you pop lust and you get that nasty giant first pull, and you only get 7% off of it. So we probably could have gone a little bit more aggressive in this 12, but we'll get a good pull here as well, making sure to tag everything up just so that in case someone else tags something, they don't get any aggro. And we'll take everything into this peacekeeper here. Pretty standard pull, making sure to make sure that those toxic blades get interrupted, and then any ice spritzers that you're able to interrupt, make sure that those get interrupted. But yeah, charge shield, make sure you pop a defensive as well, so the peacekeeper is going to smack the crap out of me. He's going to do a little bit of cleave damage. So tanks can get kind of walloped here, and I should have poison cleansed myself, but you know, we're just gonna eat it. It's okay. It's all good. And at this point, I ask if we want to skip the boss here and drag a couple of the little mobs into the boss here, and everyone's kind of just like, sure, why not? I've seen a couple groups do this, and it's, you know, I don't know how much time it really saves, but it's kind of fun. So we'll get a nice big pull. And I think people have cooldowns at this point or something like that. I think I get the call that people have some damage. We lose our mage right off the rip, which is pretty unfortunate because you want this pull to die as fast as humanly possible. And there's a lot of cakes. We just want as many stops as we possibly can. Luckily, I think this pull is pretty safe if you have a balanced druid, because that beam really just makes sure to deal with all of that. I should have thrown down an Ursul's and made sure that everything was standing in the beam just a bit longer. But I popped Nature's Vigil, Heart of the Wild, making sure to get some healing on everybody else, and we'll be able to finish off this pull without too much difficulty. So there's the Ursul's and the Typhoon with the pixel stack. We'll get a nice knockup to get rid of some more of those rock lances. And unfortunately, I would like this pull to have been dead right now, but ends up going okay. You'll need a lot of stops for this this pull, but even when things go wrong, you can see it's not too bad. And then we'll go over to this left-hand side here. We'll grab these two sappers, make sure to stand here so that they don't drag in a weird angle, and pull the extractor over there. And we'll get these sappers all the way to the boss, making sure to get the aggro on that driller as well. So that doesn't really save a whole lot of time necessarily, but you get a little bit more cleave into this boss in his first phase, which is sometimes nice. So static pulse going to go out, just keep my back against the wall. I don't even get knocked back there, and we'll just keep going on the boss. So this fight is pretty self-explanatory. If you've watched any video on this, you know exactly what to do. But the coins are going to come out. If you're against the wall, sometimes they spawn in a bit of a tighter spread, so we don't have to worry about too much area. We don't save a bomb here, though, which is unfortunate. So as soon as those bombs get kicked in the boss, we'll start moving him away, making sure that he's going to go towards us. And then when the coin magnet comes out, he is nowhere near any of those coins. You can stand in the coin magnet as well, even if it pulls you in, but obviously with those final blasts going out, you don't want to be standing in that. So we'll go back over towards the wall, Doesn't matter if he's standing on the coins in the intermission phases. So Static Pulse is going to get knocked into the wall. Not going to be too annoying to deal with there. And then he should spawn some more coins here in a second. So yeah, there we go. We get all those coin piles on the ground. We'll get the foot bomb launcher. And our balanced druid calls that is going to be the last bomb that we are going to kick in. So we'll kick in the 5 bombs, and then the shocking claw comes out. We'll start trying to move the boss, and then we'll wait. We'll delay it so that we have maximum uptime on that increased damage that the boss is taking. Unfortunately, I don't move him quick enough, or I have him too far in the corner, and he gets a couple stacks of the coin magnet thing. So he sucks in a couple coins, and as you can see, he's got 2 stacks. But when he static pulses, we actually don't take hardly any damage because of the mage barrier. So easily survivable, no big deal. Don't worry about it at all. And as you can see, we're absolutely blasting this boss. So we'll get one more round of foot bombs. We won't need to. We end up pinging one to hold, I believe. So the balanced druid calls that he's going to hold the current foot bomb that he is on. We'll have the shocking claw go over to the right-hand side, and we still we don't really need the extra hold because the boss is just dead. So yeah, pretty easy boss, pretty easy start to the dungeon. And we'll go up here and we'll get this nice little double pull going. So I missed the jump here. I just can't get up this, so I just charge. And we'll get one of these Stone Furies with the extractor pack right here. Only things you really need to worry about this pull. I don't like to even waste a kick on the tectonic barrier. As you can see, the shield is pretty small. That's not going to kill you. Just DPS through it. The extractor is going to be alive anyway, so you're going to have plenty of time to cleave off of it and all that sort of stuff. I probably just wouldn't worry about it. Just make sure that you interrupt those Furious Quakes because they can do a lot of AoE damage, especially when these Earth Shapers are sending the Rock Lances at random targets. As you can see, our mage gets hit by 1 or 2 of those, and he gets taken pretty low. So you just want to make sure the Stone Fury and the Earth Lances, the Rock Lances don't overlap. But don't waste a kick on like Tectonic Shield. Doesn't really matter, especially if you're pulling these with other things where you have plenty of cleave. The Priest ends up body pulling over to the side here, so I don't know what we're doing there, but this makes the route... This is just confusing to me because I don't really know what % I need going forward, but it is okay. So Priest is going to go down, and yeah. And again, this is not a perfect run. I never promise you guys perfect runs if you're coming to this channel or if you're new to this channel. And yes, I know all the people in this, but we are definitely not locked in. We are kind of just chilling in Discord, hanging out, playing some WoW right before raid time. So nothing too crazy. But yeah, we'll get a nice Mark of the Wild back, and we will do all of this coming up, making sure that I have aggro on that driller behind us. And again, making sure to kick these Stone Furies. These Furious Quakes will be an issue. And then we'll drag everything into Taskmaster Ascari. There's only 1 Earth Shaper pack as well, or 2 Earth Shapers in this, so you just want to kick as many Rock Lances as you can. But above all, you want to make sure those Furious Quakes don't go out. So, yeah, we'll just get a nice little beam. We'll eat one of those Furious Quakes because everything is just in beam. But beam is just broken, so if you have a balanced druid, you can just hang out and beam and be in a really good spot. I see that I have 7 stacks, so I'm trying to get those to fall off, and we'll just drag the rest of this over here, making sure to soothe the Taskmaster here so that he doesn't hit me too many times with those stacks. Goes into massive slam, and I'm going to try and get these bleed stacks to fall off before the boss, I think. Or I just don't notice them, and I just take 9 stacks, and I'm just going to be in a world of hurt. So we're ahead of schedule on this dungeon. We have 60 seconds on Lust. Usually you would have Lust before this point, but we do not have it. So we just kind of go about the boss as normal, trying to keep the boss on top of one of these Earth Ragers, or on both of them, so we can get them at least a little bit low and go from there. We get a beautiful reset later in this fight as well, so this is like peak situation that you want to have this boss in. So we'll kill the first Rager, not too big of a deal. We'll get the Tectonic Smash. We'll dodge that, obviously, and then Resonant Quake with 1 Earth Rager up. Easily survivable. You don't want to have 2 Earth Ragers up for that cast. and then we'll get the second Earth Rager going in, making sure to keep the boss on top of them so we can get some cleave. Focusing the one that is pissed off. Dodge the Tectonic Smash again. And we opt to Lust here, I believe, because there's really nothing else that's needed as far as Lust is concerned, and we just want to keep it on cooldown. So we get a Lust here. We'll kill this infused Earth Rager. We'll get the Tectonic Smash here. And then we get the Resonant Quake as well. And then we will keep this other Earth Rager alive so that we can do something like this. So I believe he'll summon another Earth Rager. Call Earth Rager here. Only summons one. We instantly kill the one on the left-hand side, so we only have to deal with one of them, and we know this one is going to get infused. So if you're able to do something like that in this fight, that will make this much, much easier. Our range doesn't have to kite at all, and we can just focus on this infused Earth Rager that is stacked on top of the boss. And then we get the easy clap on Azarok, and we head into the next section of the dungeon. Again, having a balanced Druid in this next section is going to be pretty free. We're going to be able to put a beam on all of these alchemists, so we don't need to worry about having our enemies transmuted. And I'm looking at the mage's damage because I kind of just realized that he went arcane. He usually plays fire when he plays with us, so apparently it got buffed. Apparently, you know, it's pretty strong right now, so it might be worth playing. If you're a mage player, go ahead and check that out. I don't know anything about mage, so. But yeah, we'll get all these pulls over to the right-hand side here. We'll get a beam, so we don't need to worry about any of these alchemists casting. The alchemists are really the only thing that you need to worry about. But I believe the transmute enemy can be dispelled even if that doesn't go off. So we have plenty of CC for these guys. They're not even casting right now, so we'll just take one of them down. And with two of them to kick, it's going to be very, very easy to keep those in check. So yeah. Pretty free pull. We're going to go over here, pop a roar, make sure that we're buffed. And we'll get this mastermind, the test subjects, all the test subjects over there. And get something nice going, give some people an opportunity to pad here. And again, we are just making sure to kick the alchemists. I feel like this dungeon, every time I watch it, every time it gets a little bit easier. Everything is pretty simple. You can just do the mechanics and in this section, and you're just chilling. You're just hanging out. You're having a good time. Don't have too much space to move away from these tornadoes, so the masterminds will summon those tornadoes, but we don't even need to move too much with those. And there we go. We'll get these weapon testers, more alchemists here. I think we have beam coming up in a second, so we'll be able to keep these nice and in check. We'll get a nice knock-up. I'll throw down the Ursals to make sure that we have the Typhoon if we need to. And there we go. We'll get them nice and pixel stacked again. I have a Roar as well. But we get another nice knock-up. Just use absolutely everything to interrupt the Alchemists. And make sure that you're not pulling too many of these weapon testers with the same pull. They can all just fixate on the same person and chuck weapons at them. And then it just gets kind of bad. So it's fine to take this place a little bit slower. Not a big deal. We have plenty of time on the clock as well, so. And again, this pack, not a whole lot, just one kick, alchemist to kick, and then the masterminds will do the brainstorms. So both of those tornadoes go out onto the left-hand side of the room here. I feel pretty safe over here because we're baiting them in a way where I don't really need to worry about them, but ordinarily you would want to move those away from the tornadoes, especially if you have a full melee comp. And then making sure that if you're a healer or if you're a DPS and you get both of those mind lashes on you, that you're popping a personal. Even if you get one of those on you, you also probably need to pop a personal. So be mindful because that can do a ton of damage, especially on higher keys, I would guess. But yeah, easy peasy, pull goes down, and we'll get right into the third boss. If you're a tank, something to be keep in mind is that this boss, for some reason, hits like a freight train. As you can see, I lose about 60% of my health in about 2 seconds. So keep in mind that this boss will hit hard. She doesn't have like a televised tank buster or anything like that. She just hits like a truck. So keep that in mind. Make sure that you are still rotating defensives, even though there's nothing that actually says that she's about to hit you really hard. That is something that always catches me off guard in this fight. So keep that in mind. But yeah, we're going to be taking out this boss pretty easily. We'll drag her over to this corner, get the propellant blasts on one person that clears over to the right. We'll get it on the healer who clears over to the left. And then we should get one more propellant blast on the balanced druid who will clear the middle here. And after this third propellant blast goes out, you want to start rotating towards the middle, especially if you have melee DPS, because they have farther to go. Luckily, we have ranged DPS, so they're already in a better position. But all of the other stuff on the ground will come out, and then the existing goop from the first phase should dissipate, so we'll have a bit more space here than we think we do. So we'll drag her over to this corner, making sure that there is a little sliver of land to stand between her and the goop on the ground. But like before, we will have the druid clear the right-hand side. If you're in melee, you can stand in melee and still clear, so you don't need to run out into the middle of the room in order to clear. You can stay on the boss. It'll still push away stuff behind you. Priest clears a little bit on the left-hand side there, and then we'll get one more propellant blast on the other DPS. It should target different people every time as well. So if you're worried about it not targeting people or targeting you twice, it should not do that. I don't think I've ever seen it do that. But yeah, after that third one goes out, we'll drag her again into the middle of the room. So we're in a good spot to make this rotation over to the right-hand side here. And then the goop from before should start going away. Yep, the left-hand side goop from the previous phase should start shrinking. And we'll just kill the boss. So this part gets a little bit messy just because we're not locked in any sort of way. So this might be not the best showcase of this, but I like to get these two specialists, pop a couple mines, and make sure the mines are semi-close to these. Somehow we pop two more mines. So this is going to be a little bit awkward, and then the other specialist on the side gets pulled. So we're going to have lots of orange circles to dodge, as well as the mines. Can get a bit hectic here, but we get the mines nice and cleaned up, and we should just be able to get into this war machine. Charge shot, really the only thing that you need to worry about here. Does some heavy raid damage. So if you have any sort of personals, any kind of AoE damage reduction or something like that, save it for those charge shots. Helps your hero out a little bit, but should be pretty healable. As you can see, no other damage really goes out aside from the charge shot. If any other damage does go out, it is because of these mines, and they are one-shotting stuff. So I try and do the thing where I run forward and just basically pop all of these mines. I want to just run all the way up top and pop as many of these as I possibly can and get them all out so that we can run back and have them all funneled. But everyone kind of follows me, even though I really told them not to. So the mines are everywhere. It gets super chaotic. There's orange circles on the ground. It's just not good. But if you're going to do that, you can always say that you're going to run ahead and grab all these mines, and then you drag them, and then they're all in a line, fixated on various people, but everyone's stacked on top of each other, so the mines are also going to be running in a line. It's much easier to keep those sorted, keep track of all the mines that are fixated on yourself, because they're all just stacked up. So again, we are just going to pop all these mines, drag them into this war machine, and that's more of what it should look like. All three of those mines are going to be stacked up, focused on people that they are nowhere near to, and we'll be sitting in a good spot. So we'll pop this one more mine here into this double war machine pack. On higher keys, I would probably say that this is worth lusting, especially because these charge shots can hit like absolute freight trains. As you can see, on a 12, they still do some pretty good damage. But yeah, I mean, that's really all these war machines do. They deploy a couple crawler mines, so just make sure that you cleave those down. And then, yeah, and then we'll just be ready for these charge shots, any kind of personals. Usually, if you pop your personals right as the cast goes off, it'll be still running when the second one goes off, so you can get some double value here. And we will easily take down these war machines. No big deal at all. Yeah, easy peasy. And then we'll get right into the last boss here. We're not going to do any sort of safe spot shenanigans this time around. I like to stand on the safe spot, but everyone else doesn't really like when I stand on the safe spot. So we are just going to do this boss as intended. So we'll pull him right away. Nothing too crazy to work with. And then we'll see the two Mimiron's heads going out towards the right-hand side and the left-hand side there. So we know that the missiles are going to cover both of those sections of the room, so standing here should be safe. and then we'll just keep that in mind as we're going through the fight. So Gatling gun comes out. As a tank, you can soak this too, so if you're really focused on those Mimiron's heads or making sure that you're positioning the boss correctly or whatever, you can just eat a couple things with the Gatling gun. Just make sure you have a personal or something like that. Yeah, just make sure that you have that going if you really need to pay attention. But as we can see, the Mimiron's heads in the top, kind of the top middle of my screen, and the right-hand side of my screen are going to cover those sides with missiles. So we are going to be in a good spot standing here. Gatling gun comes out, and we're saving Lust for the second phase of this fight because it comes up at a little bit of a weird time, so nothing too crazy there. So we're going to need to move. The Mimiron's head is going to the middle of the room and the far side of the room. So unfortunately, the missile was going out a little bit differently there, but I believe you can meld that as well. So if you want to meld and not have that missile go off, that is a good thing to do. We'll go into the intermission here. We will hit these Sky Scorchers. They don't have aggro tables, so even if you're a tank, I don't think you can control them. They just spam Buster Shot and hang out. There's really nothing that you can do here except for do damage. Make sure people stay alive. And then the Drill Smash goes on the Paladin. He'll run over to the pillar on the right-hand side of the screen. Stand there. Once the cast starts going off, he can move, and we'll be all good. And then we'll all start shifting over to this left-hand side of the screen where the other two pillars are. Easy peasy. We'll get the next Drill Smash, and then we're all just stacked on top of this last one just in case the Drill Smash goes on us. Goes on the Priest. He runs over here. Drill Smash happens. Easy claps. And yeah, and then we'll Lust, and we will finish off this boss fight once his shield goes down. So yeah, pretty easy dungeon, honestly. It feels like every time I do this, there's still something that I try a little bit differently. I'm not used to moving the boss on this fight. It doesn't even make the fight that much more difficult, but it helps your DPS out, making sure that you can control those missiles. So if you haven't been moving this boss, or if you've been using the safe spot, try out this strategy. I mean, it's how you're supposed to do the fight, but if you're still a little bit rusty on this, just try it out, you know, why not? But yeah, leave a comment what you guys want to see next. If there's any specific dungeons that you feel like you want me to go through in a little bit more detail. And yeah, you can find all my stats and all that sort of stuff on Raider.io. So if you want to see what I'm running, I should show my talents at the beginning of every video, but if you missed that. But yeah, we timed the run, almost 10 minutes on the clock. Easiest clap of my entire career. And leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment what you guys want to see next, as usual, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.